I'm going to call timeout real quick. More technical difficulties. We weren't fucking recording. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know where we started recording. Right now, Kyle is talking about Brock Lesnar holding the 24/7 title because it would infuriate Brock because he hates working outside of his 10 minutes of Raw a month and having people infiltrate his home in Southern California. I apologize, guys. I don't know why we've had nothing but technical difficulties. I tried streaming. I tried adding video, whatever. We screwed up. Our podcast starting now. Welcome to Smacked Raw. Keep going. Brock Lesnar, 24/7 title.
We boxing, guys. We boxing. Is this AEW?
Oh, no, man. Oh, no.
Hey, it happens.
Okay, folks. Rob, do you have any recorded content, or are we really starting right now?
We are starting right now. Welcome to Smack Raw.
Welcome to Smacked Raw Podcast, folks, where we are showing. Hold on, God damn it! Let me pull my notes up.
Don't even worry about it, bro.
What up, though? It's JM in the building.
We got JM. We got Duke from the Fickle Podcast. Go check them out. You can find them at WWF_anonymous. Excellent podcast. Just like us, it's like you're getting drunk with your boy at a bar and talking about wrestling.
God. Dude, you just wasted like 10 minutes of gold.
It happens.
That was gold, man.
See,
we were on the way to our best show so far.
We were actually talking about it should have been recorded, and it wasn't how you're the content guy and I'm the technical difficulty guy.
I'm gonna have to take over the technical stuff.
See the
I'm gonna
problem.
have to take
the problem with
shit.
that is, at least I caught that we weren't recording. If you were the technical difficulty guy, tomorrow we'd
they're
have.
wrapping this up, and they'd be like, "Okay, we done. How much we got? Nothing."
Yeah.
Let me reset my timer, folks.
Okay, again, my apologies. Let's get the
God.
giggles out. Find them at WWF_anonymous. Excellent podcast. I really was waiting for this. SmackDown, August 6th is going to be in Detroit. Dolph Ziggler against Kofi Kingston announced as the main event. Take that for what it is. Card subject to change, but I wanted to get that out there.
Potential spoilers, by the way.
Yes, potential spoilers. I wanted to get that out there because usually the card doesn't change and stuff like that. If
Iron Man dies, by the way.
But
Oh my God!
Hey, I haven't seen Endgame.
They just had a heel turn out of nowhere.
Every show we have, someone tries to sabotage our shit.
I have
Every show we got. Wait, hold on.
That was a heel turn, bro. Come on.
I haven't seen
Look,
Endgame.
I speak on behalf of the Fickle Fan Podcast when I say we are a group of baby faces, and Jay just had a random heel turn, and I apologize for the masses.
I already turned heel on WWE, man. I'm still,
Oh my God!
I'm still in that Darth Vader mode.
Heel turns is good content.
The red saber came out at the moment.
Speaking of heel turns, I just want to throw it out.
Oh man.
I want to throw it out real quick that I was looking on Pro Wrestling Tees earlier, and they were like, Shawn Michaels t-shirt. Shawn Michaels, my favorite boo of all time. So I clicked it, and there was a shirt of him that had him sitting in a barber chair with a broken barbershop window and a boot hanging out of it, and all it said was heel turn under it. I'm like, that is the best shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Was that whole Brutus Barber
when he super kicked Beefcake out of nowhere.
Segment.
Yep, when he turned. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I want that shirt. That's so amazing.
I love that whoever the heel commentator was, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Was it Heenan?
Probably Heenan. They were like, Jannetty's such a coward. He tried to jump out the window. Look at the best, dude. You gotta love like good heel commentators, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see if we can salvage this and get back on track a little
Roman
bit.
Reigns opens up Raw again.
Well, hold on. I gotta, damn it, man. I gotta plug us. I don't want to plug us, but we gotta plug us. We are the Smack Drop Podcast. You can find us on YouTube if you just search for Smack Drop Podcast. We normally cover Raw and SmackDown. Every now and then, we'll do predictions for pay-per-views, NXT, AEW. We love all that shit. Drop us a like and subscribe. You can find us on Podbeam at smackdroppod.podbean.com. And you can also follow us directly on Twitter. I am at The Kaitai Show. Rob, tell them where we can find you.
Two words, can't see me. My two favorite things in wrestling history, DX and John
Yes,
Cena.
you can hear me. Awesome, dude.
Hey,
we got our act again.
I killed the video.
An affirmative.
Earlier, I mentioned that I was shooting video of me, and that's what was causing. Like, I have a weak laptop. Okay, I made it do too much at one time. That's why
you
I
on dial up over there, 28.8K.
No, I have this awesome Ethernet cable.
You got that McDonald's connection going on? The free Starbucks Wi-Fi.
Come on, bro. Come on.
When you LFG
if somebody call you right now, they gonna cut in through your internet.
When you LFG on Destiny, when you LFG on Destiny, you can pick like pre-made hashtags, and one of them is no McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Listen, please do not play Destiny on McDonald's Wi-Fi. Okay, please don't do that.
People who do that are a different type of heels. I'm just saying.
So, we got plugged. You can find us on Twitter.
We salvaged this enough.
You can find these guys.
Wait! I gotta help you guys out though, because you guys forgot about the most important one. Spotify.
Spotify. You can find us on
Spotify.
Hey, Spotify is the greatest one. Like, I found you guys on Spotify today. I was like, I can't believe I didn't look already. But Spotify is the best. I'm working on.
Oh wait, we on Spotify?
You're on Spotify.
I didn't know that.
Guys, you can follow us at Fickle Podcast on all the major podcast websites, including Spotify, as known of 6/3. Wait, that's not even today's date. 6/5/2019. We're coming to you everywhere, guys.
Are y'all on iTunes?
We are also probably on iTunes.
Google Podcasts, I know.
See, Rob isn't here.
After the show.
Rob would know that answer, but Rob isn't here.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
We all need a Rob, I'm telling you.
We do.
We do,
okay,
man.
So,
anyways, let's go ahead and get into
Roman Reigns
this
opens the show. Go ahead. Do
Hell
your
thing.
yeah. He opens the show again. Just saying.
Yeah, Roman opens it again. Before he can start talking, Shane McMahon comes out, essentially just hyping their match at Super Showdown. Says Shane's gonna beat him down and tap him out. I got a chuckle out of that one.
Roman's face, though, it's in my notes. Roman's face when the announcer is like "best in the world." Roman's face was absolutely golden. I'm like, oh my god, it fits every single WWE Universe fan in the world right now.
They're portraying Roman a lot better nowadays. Say what you want, man. The Roman. I'm not saying you have to be the biggest fan, but it's not as invasive as it used to be.
I agree with that, man. Because when he came out and I heard that music, I'm like, oh god, Roman again. Like
they don't let him talk.
Is this what the wild card is? Just a Roman fest? I'm like, come on. But I do agree that they are presenting him better than he was. It was just like Roman. It is they pull back on the gas a tad bit, so I can see that.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Anyways, what would we say? Shane said he was going to tap him out. Yeah. And then revealed that the first match for WWE Stomping Grounds to take place after the Super Showdown, of course. Stomping Grounds is replacing Backlash. I can't understand why. If anyone knows, just let me know. But yeah, is going to Drew McIntyre. Roman says they don't have to wait. Of course, your typical badass stuff. We can fight right now. Before anything happens, though, Roman is jumped by the Revival, only to be saved by the Usos, reforming the Bloodline. And we got the night's opening six-man tag match, being the Bloodline versus McIntyre and the Revival. Sounded like Rob or someone wanted to jump in. I don't know.
Well, okay, the Revival came out of nowhere, but at least they on screen, so I appreciate that. But I just want them to make the Bloodline an official stable. But it's okay.
With cameos.
Something against stables?
Cameos, man. No, with cameos. Have Rikishi in there in an episode or
right.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys,
people,
listen.
Man.
I recently learned, last episode I think it was, that these guys were all related, that Rikishi was their dad, and they were like somehow related to Reigns and The Rock. I didn't know any of that.
That whole family.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
that whole family.
What family is it called?
The
Skywalker family.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a Skywalker.
I'm not gonna front y'all. Like, I turned on Final Fantasy VII on my PSP Vita, and I played that during the whole match. I didn't care.
You got a Vita still?
Look,
bro, why haven't you traded that in for a Switch yet?
Look, I'm a Sony pony. I'm loyal to Vince McMahon, just like I'm loyal to Sony. And
Tony.
I can't go to the Nintendo Switch because it's going to switch me away from my PS.
Okay,
no.
I have to stop. I have to stop and plug it. I'm a story guy. I will make it fast. I promise. Ages ago, with our first daughter, we had a doctor's appointment, and I was like, I have nothing to do with this doctor's appointment. And joking around with my wife, I was like, I need a PSP to sit through this doctor's appointment. And she said, okay, let's go get you one today. I was like, okay. So I called up GameStop, and I was like, look, here's the deal. I need a PSP today. I need it charged. I will be up there.
Vita or the first one?
No, first PSP.
Oh,
and
my God.
It was when the Slim had just came out. But I knew the Slim was more money, and I was going to be happy with my out-of-nowhere PSP I was getting. So I was like, GameStop, I need this charged. I need a used one. I will be there. I promise. I went up there, and I seen it sitting there on the charger. I'm like, you guys are awesome. I'm going to buy it. They were like, look, we got this Slim, and it's only $30 more. And I was like, but I need it charged right now. They were like, okay, buy this used one. When you're done, bring it back. We'll give you your money back, and we will sell you the Slim.
Rob, you are nuts, man. You don't understand. I'm sitting in a doctor's office.
I need this now.
It was, well, I mean, it's not even really that. It's the fact that I was joking around, and my wife's like, yeah, you can get one. I'm like, wait, really? Like, okay, let's go.
I believe you had them charge it, man.
I mean,
oh my God.
You buy a used PSP, there ain't no guarantee you got battery with that boy. Like, I mean.
The thing I'm learning about Rob is that he has a baby-faced daughter who is supposed to be coming on to the podcast pretty soon, guys.
And don't forget, she got the money in the bank briefcase, and she's gonna give him an RKO after she cash it in.
Oh,
right. And Rob also has a baby-faced wife to cash in on PSP related items, and is probably the best wife in the universe because of this. So Rob has a happy family confirmed.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really watch with me, but I do have to throw it out there that the other day she was like, Becky and Flair again. I'm like,
oh man.
We all kind of get
those words.
Look, man. Look now.
Okay.
As much as I games, and trust me, I do. Let's get back to the show.
All right.
I love stories, guys. Any chance I get, I plug a story. I'm sorry, guys. Listeners, I'm sorry. I love my stories.
I'm gonna limit you to like 2 more this episode. Rob, okay?
2?
We run up to like 3 hours, and there's a reason. I'm not gonna say
because we talk about. Hey, GameStop
it ain't even a WrestleMania podcast.
GameStop charged it for me. Just saying, man, that's lit, bro.
The match ends with Drew delivering a Claymore kick to Jey Uso, while Jimmy received a shatter machine on the outside. I'm sorry, folks. Okay. I am a professional. All right. After the match concludes,
wait.
Has the
I have notes on this match. 2 things, real quick. Renee Young called the move Usi hot. That's fucking amazing.
Yes, she did. I did catch that. Yep.
Yeah,
and
Usi.
I got my Usi hot hat on right now as we speak.
And then the crowd was chanting, "We want Roman," which told us Roman was going to be the hot tag.
Good.
The hot tag happened during a commercial break. Just saying, that's terrible.
Wow.
That's terrible. They came back from commercial break and Roman was in the ring. Like, what are you doing? The hot tag is the hottest point of any tag match, and you're gonna call it.
That's blasphemous.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. You gotta save the commercial riddled match for like the 205 Live.
I mean,
or something.
Even if you just like, boom, there's the hot tag. Okay, commercial break. At least we've seen the hot tag. Just saying.
I don't. That's a topic for further discussion. We will discuss when the perfect. Where do you place a commercial in comparison to the hot tag?
Speaking of further discussion, they advertised Firefly Funhouse, and then we jumped into Ms. TV.
Oh my God, dude! Do not place a commercial in the middle of a Firefly Funhouse, though. I swear to God.
If they did that, I'm like leaving WWE and Vince McMahon's side and going straight to AEW. I'm signing my $2,000 contract.
I'm requesting release, and I'm going to hang out with Sasha Banks right now.
That's right, I heard that. After the match, Shane orders the Revival to give a shatter machine to Roman before Shane himself mocks Roman, doing the ooh-ah and spearing Roman. And yeah, Shane...
I did appreciate that moment.
Shane's going to get killed, bro. Like, Roman's going to kill him. Like, because you know Vince loves Roman arguably more
than
he
his
loves
son.
his own son.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Listen, I know you're my son, but you got to do the job.
You gotta do the job.
This is good shit. I mean, it's good shit.
Roman's going to destroy Shane, man. Oh, it's gonna be one of those prolonged things too. I'll allow to when I think Cena had a match with Laurinaitis, and he just dragged the piss out of it, dude. And embarrassed him.
We can't have that.
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna happen.
If anything,
so that or there's gonna be a lot of run-ins to make it like a close match. But I'm hoping it's just a squash. To be fair.
Yeah.
If anything, I think Roman should have a spot where everybody keeps running in and he just keeps sparing them all consecutively. And then Roman's kid comes out of nowhere and says, "Daddy!" And then he spares the kid for no reason because he didn't know. And then he turns into Kratos. And then we get Roman Kratos. Or instead of him being Roman Reigns, he'll be Greek Reigns.
Reigns. Not Roman, Greek.
So I'm just saying, we should have a Roman Reigns spares his daughter spot.
I'm telling you, if Roman has the acting chops in him and can pull off a Kratos character, I will pay out cash to watch that week in and week out, bro. I will pay. Dude, I will pay for 4K TV service. I will have to buy a 4K TV. But I don't know what you're doing, man.
I think it's what we need.
All right, man. All right. The next segment up, we got Miz TV. Miz imitating Matthew McConaughey because, of course, he's in the crowd.
I can't stand Matthew McConaughey. I just want to throw that out there. I can't stand
Dude, it was...
I was
like, oh, there's Matthew
McConaughey.
Just,
all right.
I don't know who Matthew McConaughey is. I just know him from a rap song reference. So I was on my phone. I was playing Final Fantasy VII.
Anyways, Rollins is tonight's guest on Miz TV. Miz bringing up Lesnar allegedly going to be cashing in tonight on Rollins. To our surprise, Rollins is saying he hopes that he does so he can get it out the way and then focus on Friday on Baron Corbin, but is doubtful that Heyman or his client will even arrive.
I took it as I could have very well took it wrong, but I took it as Rollins is scared. Not really scared, but bro, you're gonna let Brock Lesnar get in your head, it's working. You're supposed to be the Beast Slayer, but you got I need let's get this out of the way because I'm thinking about it too much.
If you were the champ and Brock had Money in the Bank, you wouldn't even sleep, dude.
No, you wouldn't. But
this dude's gonna suplex my bed with me.
Right.
You are 100% correct. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not gonna grab a mic and be like, let's get this out of the way. I'm gonna grab a mic and be like, oh, I forgot Brock even had the briefcase.
Bro, no, I'm gonna tell Brock to cash in on me right away. I'm gonna kick him in the dick and get disqualified, and then it's gonna be behind us.
Why hasn't has there ever been a cash in where that actually happens? Because that's my first thing. If I'm beat up after a match or just beat up in general, the dude tries to cash in on me, I'm gonna just disqualify myself.
DQ, right?
Or
why does
get Rock out.
Yeah, it's about to be a chair shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna do a finisher to the referee. How about that?
Oops, I lose.
Right.
Well, give me my balance.
Quick random thought, because I do things like that. It'll be quick, I promise. I want to see a title change on somebody saying that was a 3 count and the ref saying, oh shit, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. Just saying.
Ref, that was a 3. Be like, oh, damn,
I did count slow. My bad.
Ring the
bell. Imagine the heat that would bring.
We see it all the time the other way, where they're like, don't disqualify him or don't count him out of the ring, and the ref will stop the match. So I could see that.
Could be a thing.
You'd have to the right time and right place. That would be a trick.
And then turn it into the storyline. It could work. Just saying.
Yeah, man. We'd have to see that. I don't know. That ref's gonna get a lot of criticism afterwards.
hey, ain't nobody ever gonna get as much criticism as Earl Hebner. Just saying.
But the segment ends with backstage footage of Heyman and Lesnar arriving. But as they're walking to the ring, they choose to not go to the ring and just go backstage. And obviously, we're going to get whatever's going to happen later on in the show.
Seth did mention how nobody in the world likes Baron Corbin, and I wanted to take that time to say Baron Corbin blocked me on Twitter, and it made my day.
You said he blocked you on Twitter? How do you get blocked on Twitter by one of the lamest wrestlers?
I called him lame.
Like, he needs all the support he can get, dude. How's he
somebody was like, I got blocked by Baron Corbin, and somebody else goes, yeah, me too. He can't take the heat, and I was like, let me try. You're a bad character, and it worked.
That's a little too direct, Rob, man. I would take that personally.
Bro, it's right. You are a bad character, and you're like fans like me are gonna tell you you're bad.
He's not a bad character. He's a dresses like an anime bartender.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The way I look at it is, you have a Twitter.
Like the Applebee's host or something.
You have a Twitter, and you're a heel, and I'm a fan that says, "Boo the heel. You are bad." And that's what you do on Twitter, but you, like, block me for it, for doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't like you. So, I mean, I've seen other people doing it, so I said, let me try. And it happened in 5 minutes. Like, okay, cool.
Wow.
So, I mean, he knows I exist. So, I mean,
that dude's on Twitter. That means he's, like, attached.
Now, I do want to throw it out there for anybody listening.
That's a big promotional tool for him, though, is Twitter. Like, that's got to be one of their biggest promotional tools.
Somebody
to get fans outside of the direct product.
I forget who it was a while ago. Somebody said, basically, like, they said that they don't have money and, like, their life sucks and, like, they have medical issues or something, blah, blah, blah. And my favorite person in the world is Baron Corbin.
Blah, blah, blah. That is, like, a freaking...
Well, I mean, I don't remember exactly what it was, but, I mean,
I have no money. I've got no will to live. And Rob's like, they were like, blah, blah, afterwards.
Well, whatever. It was kind of like a Make-A-Wish on Twitter, and that's what it was. I mean, it was sad.
Oh, my goodness.
And they tagged Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin responded and was like, let me know.
Please tell me.
He was like,
heel on him.
No. He said, let me know when you're in town. I'll get you tickets, and I'll get you backstage passes.
Oh, damn it, man. So, he should have gone heel. He should have went full heel on him,
He
dude.
should have, but at the same time, like,
Corbin.
My point of saying...
Go heel on him?
KYS, bro.
My point of saying that is, he's a good guy. And when I said your character sucks, I purposely said character because it's your character that is bad. I don't hate you as a man, but I don't like your character, and it's Vince's fault, and I got blocked. So I took pride in the character Baron Corbin blocked.
Interpretation, man. That's all it is.
But looking at, I've been watching Baron Corbin since his NXT days, and I gotta say, this man, I like to hate him because it's the fun thing to do.
That's why.
But he's improved so much since like 2015. Like, he's good in the ring. I mean, he's not the most exciting wrestler to watch, but when he gets a good talent, he's fun to watch. Like, his finisher is probably one of my favorite finishers.
Oh yeah,
the end of the day.
Finisher and signature, man. Like that. What's the other one, man?
The end of days is the finisher. The signature is deep six.
The deep six. Yeah. Both of those could be finishers, man.
Yeah, they can. Yep.
The deep six sounds like a love movie, by the way. I'm just saying.
It does.
Not that great of a love movie, by the way.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
But no, Baron Corbin, what he needs is he needs the Triple H route. Y'all remember, of course, if you didn't see it live, you know you've seen the highlights. Is Triple H tore his quad, right? And then he was out for like 8 months or whatever. And then he came back. Like, Baron Corbin could benefit from that. Give him another year of just being this heel and miss it. You know, injure himself, get some sympathy, go away for like 6 to 8 months, and then come back in like a jean jacket or something. Well, maybe leave the jean jacket.
But I don't know if that could work for Baron, to be honest, because like with Triple H is one of the best heels to ever exist.
But before that, he was kind of just – he wasn't like Baron Corbin level, but he wasn't like – nobody was like losing their stuff for Triple H. You know,
right.
before
This was like 2000, right?
Yeah. Like, he was always on the cusp of being a main event guy, and he got the belt, but no one really ever bought it. It was only after he tore his quad and then came back.
Okay.
You know, that's what perpetuated him into like the stratosphere, and then gave him that top guy, eventually legendary status, which he probably would have earned regardless. But that injury, like propelled him leaps and bounds. And Baron Corbin needs that moment, man, because he probably deserves it. You know, he probably does. You know, yeah. But
I can see Baron Corbin being a future main eventer on a SmackDown pay-per-view.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of like a Triple H combined with The Miz, you know, which is a weird combo, but that's kind of what just his heel character reminds me of right now.
He just doesn't have flavor, and that's my problem with him. Like, and I understand that's Vince's fault, but he just doesn't. I don't know. I want him off my TV. I don't hate the man because he's a heel. I want him off my TV.
He got that X-Pac heat with you,
right? Like.
Just like, I don't want to see you.
Like a couple people, like I made I just discovered breakyourownnews.com, and I made Baron Corbin voted the worst in the world. Some people got mad at it, which I understand. That's what wrestling Twitter is. Some people get mad at stuff. But I did it just because this is my opinion on the character, the man he plays. And that's how I feel.
There's people out there who thought X-Pac should have been like world champion. All right, so
I feel X-Pac should have been world champion. Fucking suck it, man. DX for life.
Oh God, no.
But
X-Pac wins the world title after delivering the Rock, the Bronco Buster.
You're right.
The Bronco Buster was great. Get out of here. No. The point of my mentioning my Baron Corbin tweet.
He tore his taint doing the Bronco Buster.
Did he really?
He had to get emergency surgery.
Forgot about that.
Win the world title after tearing your taint, bro.
That's
it's
an
over.
epic fail right there.
That move is still better than Becky's new finisher, though.
I don't know, man. It's a pump handle rock bottom. Like she delivered it on. Okay, we'll talk about.
She delivered.
Yes, that's in my notes for later.
She delivered it later, and it came across a lot better.
The reason for me bringing my tweet up was in the tweet I made sure to say the word voted worst character. I didn't say he's voted the worst man in the world. I didn't say he's voted, he's voted the worst character. It was a joke. If you like Baron Corbin, by all means, you go like Baron Corbin all you want. But somebody commented and was like, and they tagged Baron and was like, hey, you did your heel work. I'm like, no, it's not because he's a heel. It's because he's a bad character. I don't want him on my TV no more. It's not because he draws heat. It's because I don't like the guy. Get out of my face.
In other words, Rob heel turn unconfirmed.
Anyways, folks, before we get too dragged off, let's get back into the show.
That's what we do. That's how we roll.
Lucha House Party finally got the upper hand on Lars Sullivan. Lars was out there destroying the whole Lucha House Party, but of course, 3-on-1, you would think they'd get the advantage. They did. A couple drop kicks. Lars gets on the outside of the ring, snarls, and walks off. Thank God he didn't invade too much time of our screen.
Right.
Next up, we got the Iconics backstage making fun of Nikki Cross. Alexa comes to her aid, cracking Outback jokes, which for some reason I would find corny, but Alexa knows how to make it charming. And says, of course, she'll be in Nikki's corner for their match, for her match against Peyton Royce. And I gotta say, I'm becoming intrigued with this dynamic of Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, further than the shallow one's gonna turn on the other really quick. I'm almost digging it. Like, I don't want to be too premature, but like the Rock and Sock connection. There's such odd bedfellows, but if done right, I really think they complement each other.
It could be a thing.
Think about that.
Yeah, man.
Jay, Yeeski called it on our podcast last week, and we kind of was like, we don't really know about that, but this week it kind of grew on me. It was like I was watching Degrassi, and Degrassi was kind of lit. So yeah.
Oh my God, dude!
You went back a few years on that one.
How old is everybody on this podcast?
I'm just saying,
Was Drake on there too?
Oh my God, dude.
I'm thinking post Drake Degrassi.
Post Drake.
So,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. I haven't heard a Degrassi reference in like over 10 years.
Yeah, you're right about that though, cause I didn't think about the Rock and Sock though, cause that was a weird connection. And
at first, you would think it was like, one's gonna turn on the other, but then they really complemented each other for a while.
Worked. It worked. Man. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's. But knowing WWE, Alexa Bliss is gonna like turn on friggin' Nikki Cross when she's at her most vulnerable, and just to get her heel heat. But I don't know, man. Hopefully they see what I see, and hopefully other people agree, man. And they turn it into something very charming.
You don't have a women's tag division right now. You need to turn it into something.
Right. You need tag teams. And
I'm not the guy to say that you should do this to make it better, but you don't have a women's tag division right now.
Any of y'all noticed how Alexa Bliss is playing a face on Raw,
but
and
she's
a heel
bitch
on SmackDown?
Oh,
yes.
Like she's
I saw that tweet. Somebody said, "Wasn't she a heel yesterday?" Yeah,
man.
I gotta see who that was, but yeah, I just saw that tweet. Yep.
It's like I think WWE doesn't understand that we want a babyface Alexa. Everybody is so reluctant to boo Alexa because they love her, and we just want her to be the babyface that we deserve.
But at the same time, it's actually in my SmackDown notes. She is such a good bitch. It's not even funny. Like tonight, I'm just watching her. Like, I mean, we'll get to SmackDown later, but you would
swear, kind of like Charlotte, man. Kind of like Charlotte. You would swear she's like that in real life,
right? Like she's telling
because of how
Bayley,
good she's at it.
You got the women's champion in front of you, which in wrestling
hold on. That's
it's in front of you, but I mean, it'll only take a second. And she's like, "Fuck you! We're waiting for my coffee, bitch." I mean, so do you really want to turn that face? We'll get to that later, but I had to say it. Do you really want to turn that face?
Yeah, man. No, she really does. She flips show to show, and right now is good, but I want to see where it's going. Because to be fair, I am digging her face roll more than the heel, because I think the heel is going to be more effective if she plays that face for a while. But I want her to drag that face out almost to the point of when it first starts getting stale, then snap that heel, because she can snap it at any time. It's kind of like The Miz. The Miz can turn heel at almost any time, and as long as he's not turning heel on Roman or John Cena, he'll get boos. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so it's like preserve that, because you don't have many heels on the roster that can get booed. Most of your heels get cheered, so she's one of the only ones that can legitimately get booed. Moving forward, we got Lynch finally. She comes out talking about how she hasn't been home in roughly 2 months since winning the triple threat match at WrestleMania. And talking about how she feels great and she doesn't want to be content, because it's when a fighter is content is when they fail. She calls out Lacey Evans and says that essentially, this is kind of what got me. She said that when she sees Lacey Evans, she's essentially going to bust her in the jaw. Well, Lacey comes out and is in the ring, and then she does nothing. And that was kind of striking me as a little odd, man. But
yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and did y'all catch that?
Charlotte got busted in the face.
I did, and I'm like, okay, you're the man. The minute she stepped in that ring, that's what you should have did. Stone Cold would have.
Stone Cold, yeah. The second you touch those stairs, man,
right?
Stone Cold.
He would have gave you a Stone Cold Stunner right on top of the stairs
while he's drinking a beer and swimming.
Right,
in it.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's my only issue with this whole segment. This segment was good at make me put Final Fantasy VII down. But it's just like
every time I see Becky now, I'm gonna think of Final Fantasy VII. Just saying. You done did it every single
I just
time.
want some drama out of this. Like Lacey Evans, she's starting to prove me wrong in terms of that she's not as good as I said she was.
That match yesterday was sloppy.
I think it depends, though. I think it depends on a couple things. Like, she's obviously not a master in the ring and on the mic, but I believe given the right direction and then giving the right opponent, she is. So she might not be
the thing is that, like,
that's obviously in all four of our notes here. Just saying.
She's it's like ever since she got caught up to Raw and SmackDown, she hasn't proven herself like she did in NXT. I think she's good on the mic. I think she's good with social media. I think she's good just for kayfabe in general.
They know what to do with it.
But wrestling-wise, she's not good.
I don't even think it's WWE. I just don't think she's that great of a wrestler.
She's really not. And like
She's not seasoned.
Okay. So your thing is the physical aspect, the in-ring stuff.
Yes, that's exactly what he's saying. And again, I'm going to bring up my 8-year-old daughter, which every week helps me keep looking at it. Like, jokes aside this time, she helps me keep looking at it from a fantasy standpoint, which, like, I still do. Like, I'm a 34-year-old kid. Like I said, I play Pokemon, like, cards. Like, I'm still a kid at heart.
He has 100 Charizards.
Yes, I do.
Got 100. Well, about 96 because he had to sell a couple for doubling up.
Yes, I did. And actually, I do trades by mail, and like I sent 2 out as an extra surprise. Like, surprise!
Anyways, the 8-year-old.
Yes. She helps me see it from a child's standpoint, and I'm still like, when some people complain about stuff on Twitter, I don't see it. Because I look at it as, okay, this is what should be, but I'm going to enjoy it and see what is.
You want to be entertained.
Exactly. So I take the entertainment value out of it. Just like last week's Raw, I was bored. That was the first time since I got into it in January, I was bored. Raw was terrible. Every other week, everybody's like, Raw is bad. I'm like, I thought it was good.
This is January, homie.
Yes. Okay. So I'm still not tainted. But the point of what I'm saying is, I noticed.
Saw Becky. This is your life, dude. Or like, Bailey.
Lacey Evans. I'm on the Lacey Evans train. Like, my next shirt I'm gonna buy is going to be. I'm gonna buy a Lacey shirt and a Nikki Cross shirt. But I'm on the Lacey Evans train. But last night,
I love Lacey as a character, man. But the ring.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
He has one of the best moonsaults, man. If she could just build around that moonsault,
it was bad. If I noticed it, there was a spot. Yeah. There was a spot where I don't remember if it was Charlotte or Lacey on the apron. Duke, you're cutting right now. I don't know if it's your cord. I don't know if it was Lacey on the apron or it was Charlotte on the apron. One of the two. Like, they ducked under the rope and stood there for like a half a second, and she waited for whoever was on the apron. Like I said, I don't remember. I have a bad memory sometimes, guys. I'm sorry, but the wait was like a half a second, and I'm like, no, that should have been no. You guys should be done with this spot right now. But it was Lacey's fault. And I noticed it.
Happens.
Even Charlotte, did you see Charlotte tell Lacey to come for that move she was going to do in the corner?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
If I caught it, then it's bad. Like, I don't look for stuff like that, so I don't notice stuff like that.
Matthew and Botchamania. All you got to do is watch Botchamania. I caught that, John.
Nope, I don't want to do it. I like my untainted mind.
Well, Botchamania is entertaining on another level, man. Like, that dude knows how to shed light on the accidents and the mistakes of the business. But the match that you were referring to, which we haven't even announced yet, was during the promos between Lacey and Becky. Charlotte came out, started telling Becky to stop making excuses for her loss. When she turned her attention to Lacey Evans, Lacey gave her the women's right, which was kind of botched, I guess. I wasn't paying full attention.
They've all been bots.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard it was botched pretty bad.
Yes.
And then they went on to have a pretty lackluster, which you guys just touched on.
Yeah, we don't even need to talk about it. Becky Lynch ended up interfering to cause the DQ, and that was it. Like, it was.
Well, hold on. Becky didn't only cause the DQ, but she made up for last week's women's right finisher. Now, this is going to be divisive. No one really likes to see someone's finisher taken, so a lot of people are referring to the women's right as a rock bottom, even though this is kind of like a pump handle variation.
Talking about the man slam.
The
man slam. The women's right.
Yeah, you're good. You're
man. I just lost my job.
Slam.
I'm sorry, folks.
Nah, you're good. It happens, bro.
The panhandler.
It's a boo-boo rock bottom. Like, that's like become my thing. Boo-boo rock bottom.
Don't downplay it, Rob. We need to build our people up, homie.
Everybody knows what they watch. They know what we're talking about. Come on,
I'm happy for it. Well, look, I'm on the side of it. All right, so you can be against it.
It's a boo-boo
but I'm
rock
on the side
bottom,
of it.
man. Like, okay.
Dude, for one, the rock bottom wasn't even that good.
But it was from the greatest WWE superstar to ever live.
I disagree. The rock bottom was one of the best Uranagis ever exist.
Joe has the best Uranagi, bro. Joe has.
I'm not going to dispute that.
I can't dispute that,
dude. Joe put some stank on that, bro. That the Rock never could, man.
That should be Joe's finisher, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really hate it. But it was the Rock's thing, and apparently there's a guy that did it before him that I don't know about. I'm an Attitude Era guy.
Every move was stolen by
every
someone
move was
else.
stolen.
Yeah,
Yes,
nothing
you
new
are
under the
100%
sun, right?
right.
It just got tweaked a little. That's all.
Exactly.
Like, bottom line, I don't have a problem that Becky does it, but
Bottom line.
it's the Rock bottom. Now, just like when Kevin Owens was doing the Stone Cold Stunner, I was cool the first time, but then he kept doing it. I'm like, no, that's the stunner.
No,
bro.
it
That's like,
needs to
He
be
has the ugliest stunner too.
Yeah, he doesn't get any hang time.
No.
Stone Cold
Vince
made it
McMahon
good.
has the ugliest stunner.
Yeah, Vince.
Well,
Hey,
Vince's was
and the
special because it was
ugliest cell.
face.
And the ugliest cell.
I just want,
Yes.
I just want to plug it.
Either
That
side of that stunner is the worst.
Donald Trump has the ugliest cell ever.
Oh yeah, he did do a stunner, didn't he? I think.
Can we avoid political figures?
I mean, it ain't. Hey,
Moving on.
he's not a
Moving
political
on,
figure.
please. I don't
He's
want
a
it shut
man.
down.
He's a man that was in the ring in my wrestling, acting as a character. So that character that we happen to be talking about was the worst seller ever.
Anyways, Rey Mysterio relinquished the U.S. title to Samoa Joe.
Bro. What's up with this segment, man? Are you kidding me? You just gonna come down to the ring?
Dude, this is my, and I got one. I do.
Okay.
I think they wanted Dominic to be involved in a physical role by now, but Dominic is not progressing in the ring at the rate that they expected, and they're just pushing forward the story until then. I feel like Dominic was supposed to interfere during one of Ray's beatdowns, but he just does not look well enough because they probably want him to get the upper hand on Joe, but there's no way to make it look realistic right now because he's probably not good enough.
Which is the reason why Joe hasn't put him to sleep by now.
Exactly,
Valid.
man.
To be honest, like I feel like if they could have made a star out of Dominic, despite him not being a full-blown wrestler yet, by just having him like when Joe got into his face, just having him push him or like punch him when and try to run away,
Yes.
and then Joe put him to sleep, and that would give Rey Mysterio more of a reason to go after Joe because his son just got put to sleep and was told to go to sleep and good night, honey, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I feel like it's a story that Dominic was supposed to be physically involved, but they don't feel comfortable with it yet, and now the story doesn't feel like it makes as much sense.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
That's what I'm
I think
thinking.
you're right, yeah.
So is Ray not even really hurt?
No, Ray is hurt.
Yeah,
Ray's
he's
hurt.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Ray's hurt, man. But like rumor has was Dominic was supposed to get involved in one of the last two Ray versus Joe matches, and it never came to be. Dominic was standing backstage, which leaves you like wondering, like, dude, why the hell? Why does it matter that you're watching TV? We know you're watching TV. It's your dad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you're not
you
doing
have to
anything,
think they brought
you know?
him in the way they did. He had to have done something. They're not just going to be like, hey, here's my son.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, exactly. You know, but it just something ain't happening. It's my theory, man. I could be wrong.
It
but
sounds
it's-
valid.
You're right.
I mean, there
Yeah,
might be
well-
more to it. There might be less to it, but there is something there. There's something that didn't happen. There's got to be.
But during this segment, Ray relinquishes his U.S. title. He's talking about how excited he is that Dominic is training to become a WWE superstar. To my knowledge, this is the first on-screen acknowledgement of Dominic's training. I could be wrong, though. They could have brought it up beforehand, but this was the first time that I recall hearing about it. Anyways, Samoa Joe comes out to interrupt the segment. Ray's like, look, man, you're not letting me finish. I'm relinquishing this belt to you. Here's your belt, Joe. You know, which is the most honorable thing. I don't recall many other segments of babyface giving their belt up to the heel.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
and Joe's the dick, man. He still jumped Ray, choked his ass out. Like.
I was
That's
so
what you're
mad.
supposed to do. That's
yeah.
I was so mad.
That's what I love about Samoa Joe. He's a Quentin Tarantino character.
Dude, he's
Like,
oh, that's such a good ref. Oh man.
yeah,
guys
he's just
need
a
to be
Quentin
over him more.
Tarantino character. Like he just wants to put you to sleep.
Yeah, man.
He's one of those dudes that just want to see the world burn. As
Right.
they say, it don't matter what you do. He putting you to sleep. You can be anybody. He putting you to sleep.
You could be Wendy. He's still putting you to
he can
sleep.
put you to sleep.
That's the first
Hey,
time
Wendy.
I was mad at Joe. I was like, come on, man. He got a hurt shoulder. He just gave you the belt. Come on.
Yeah, it makes me want to boo him.
I'm sure
then,
if he was in the ring with Nicholas, he'd have put him to sleep too.
Oh yeah. See, he's the reason why I want to do finisher on kids. I just want to be Samoa Joe to all kids that I meet.
Dude,
we've been talking about my
Joe
one
is
8-year-old.
Such a good heel, bro.
I have 4 kids. I have 4 little kids. So there's RKOs all day.
One of your kids is like a good baby face, so I wouldn't attack her, but the other 3, they might catch Kinshasa.
Oh my god.
Not on the basis that they're related to you, but just on the basis that they're kids and they have that youth that I lost.
There used to be like a power slam where you can like you know what I mean? Like,
I do want to say
instant concussion right there, dude.
My 5-year-old was sick today and he was laying in my bed. So like I gave him a frog splash. Like not for real.
Oh my god.
But not for real. I didn't touch him. I gave him the fake frog splash. I landed on my elbows and my knees.
I would fucking hope so, bro.
So I got up.
Bro.
No.
There's a point.
On him?
There's a point to this story.
Oh man, you got some height on it too, I bet, bro.
I did it. Hey,
I've got that 5-star, man, where he
if he
got
wasn't
good,
sick,
like 5 or 6 feet of elevation.
If he wasn't sick, I would have got some height on it. But I did just a little. I plopped on him because he was sick. And then I got up to do it again, and my man put his knees
did
up.
Like the Miz's version of
he put his knees up. I'm like, I love you so much right now.
You taught him well. You taught him well. Yes.
All right. So your 5-year-old is also on the non-hit list of kids.
Valid.
Hey, your kid hit R1 on the controller.
Right. All right, you guys. Going back to the show, we get a couple vignettes. Brock is prepping backstage for whatever he's going to do, just getting hyped by Paul Heyman. Then we get those little generic Cesaro challenging Ricochet to another match, and then Ricochet generic accepting the match. And then we get the most indie thing to happen for the night, the arm wrestling match between Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. This is a segment that I feel like you either love it or you hate it or you just you took a piss.
Well, let me tell you how I felt about it. I turned Final Fantasy VII back on.
You took a piss.
It's cool.
Yeah, man.
I gotta throw it out there. This ain't even in my notes. I forgot it happened.
Yeah, that's the segment right there, man.
You know how you look when you come home and hopefully this ain't happening to nobody, but you got robbed, all your stuff gone, and you sitting there wondering what happened. That's exactly the look I had. Like, what in the world is going on? Like, no. I can't believe I'm seeing this.
I like the idea, but put something behind it. Like,
it's one of the segments that like the indies can do well, but the WWE just does not know how to sell foolishness. No. And that's the problem. Like the indies, like a lot of the time, foolishness can get a good bit of hype behind it, but WWE likes to make it serious and take it too serious, and that's my issue with it.
At least
I was thinking about go ahead. With Triple H and Scott Steiner, they had a similar thing.
I remember talking about.
And Triple H made that probably. I mean, I'm not going to overhype it.
Remember when Sami Zayn had Bobby Lashley do the obstacle course?
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, that was so bad.
It's just like they make it too serious. Like they make the wrong things too funny, and they make the wrong things too serious. Like that should have just been a strong guy versus strong guy. Maybe they could have posed and like ripped each other. Wait. That got weird.
No, it's all they own your shit, bro.
They could have posed and did like the shirt ripped off because they got muscles and had a whole anime moment and shook hands in we're strong. And then
or just have them do weightlifting.
Man, something. But they took it too seriously.
At least have the winner face the champ and lose. At least like the winner gets a title shot. Something. You just got these two dudes randomly out there arm wrestling each other. We know you're strong, dude.
Yeah, do we really need to know who's stronger between Lashley and Braun Strowman? We know y'all too. Oh, come on, man.
I mean, if you're
It's
gonna look at the
obviously
two though, it's
Lashley.
the answer's Lashley. Look at him, my man.
Yeah, it's obviously Lashley, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
I got a friend that
But-
worked at Body Builds, like not like a lot, but I showed him Bobby Lashley one day. I'm like, bro, look at this guy. Just saying.
Now, I did notice one thing, and this is going to show my age, and I doubt anybody listening to this podcast is going to pick up on it. But the guys broke the strap, and that was a callback to the movie Over the Top, which is an underrated Sylvester Stallone movie where he's a famous traveling arm wrestler. I'm going to leave it at that, okay? But I noticed the shit, all right? I noticed it from like 1992 or something, okay? But like I saw that junk. But anyways, if you must know, because it's part of the show, Braun Strowman wins after they have some pushing and shoving to piss each other off or get in each other's head, however you want to spin it. Braun is the ultimate winner. And then Lashley throws some chalk dust in Braun's eyes and then delivers the power slam to Strowman. Baby powder, fucking chalk dust. Yeah, it's probably baby powder. But Lashley delivers the power slam, Braun's finisher, which
that was interesting.
That was pretty neat. And then these two guys face off Friday, so that got us super hyped. Because, you know, if you want to build a match, have the guys do an arm wrestling contest.
I mean, it is bigger than WrestleMania, so I mean,
It is a bigger card than WrestleMania.
It's
As you can
adjacent
see-
to WrestleMania, and as the most recent commercials say.
Wait now. Yes, they say equal to WrestleMania. They changed that.
oh, they changed it up.
Dude,
Yes.
It's along the lines of
Yes, they say
WrestleMania.
along the lines of or equal. They don't say better than.
It's kind of it's WrestleMania's cousin.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
WrestleMania's cousin. We don't talk about him.
Long lost cousin.
They accidentally slept
Right.
with him one point. You know, they don't really want that shit out there.
It's that guy that Shane fought that's related to Roman Reigns somehow.
Yeah. That's the superstar. I mean, that's the showdown right there. Yeah.
So, speaking of Superstar Showdown, Nikki Cross versus Peyton Royce. What do we got,
Yes,
Kyle?
I love this match, man. I mean, I love the ending. I didn't love the whole match, but I loved the ending. Rob, go ahead. I'm sure you were
Bro.
all over the notes on this one because this is all you, buddy.
Nikki Cross went over the WWE Tag Team Women's Champions. Come on, bro.
Yes.
You
Again.
got,
Dude,
you got. Okay,
That finisher was pretty sweet.
okay.
yeah, that's
I got.
exactly what I was going to say.
I got
That
something else.
draping
Wait,
neck
wait,
breaker
time out,
Yeah,
let me-
is
that was sick.
perfect
Let me
for
have
her,
this one.
dude.
This is my girl. Let me have this one. My bad. I don't ever cut you off.
go
bro.
ahead.
Let me
No,
have
Rob.
this one.
Go ahead.
This
Okay.
is all Rob.
Okay. How do you? Okay, Nikki Cross. I don't ever bitch about this. Like I was saying earlier, I don't complain much. I really don't. But on this one, I got three things to say here. You got Nikki Cross, which is my favorite, at the bottom of the food chain, pinning Peyton Royce, which is at the top of the food chain. What is going on here? Why do you have your bottom grade girl, which I want to be on the top? But I understand it's a business. Whatever. It is what it is. You got your bottom grade girl pinning your top grade girl. I don't understand why it happens.
It's a single star against a tag team wrestler.
Yes,
It-
that's
it
something
can make sense. Yeah.
But it's your bottom
then,
grade
like-
pinning your top grade. My second thing is Nikki Cross tweeted today she can't wait to tell you what the name of her new finisher is. Cross-platform. I call cross-platform.
Cross-platform.
Because
That's dope. As a gamer, that's pretty cool.
like
You approve. You get my thumbs up.
Yeah, man.
now
Look up on
like,
Rocket League.
I
I
honestly
bet it's gonna be something cliche like crisscross or something.
yeah, but
Oh my
still,
god,
like,
I hope not.
I even
I hope they
tweeted
don't
her.
go
I
that
was like,
cheesy.
if you don't call it crisscross, or not crisscross, that's what you just said. If you don't call it cross-platform, because with their feet on the rope, they're a platform, and then they get cross-platform.
Look how like Nick Cross make you jump, man.
If she don't come out to that music, then I'm gonna be mad if they call it the Chris.
I just want to tell you that could lead to a story, which I
Oh,
love
my
doing, but I'm going to
God.
leave it alone.
But
Somebody did tweet earlier, though. What if you got the Iconics losing as shade towards Sasha? Look, you want to be a crybaby about these titles? We're going to make them look even worse. Thoughts on that? I mean, it
Okay.
very well could be a thing. I mean,
okay.
I think this all Jay right here.
So listen. So Rob, like you got Nikki Cross.
mm-hmm.
This sensitive subject when it comes to Sasha.
Oh God.
You might be right, but I just hate it if that's the case, man. It's like, oh my God, why would they do something like that, you know? But it's just, I don't know, man. I hope they're not doing that. I really don't. I mean, you know, we heard the rumors that they met and she coming back. And I mean, I got a headache thinking about Sasha.
To be fair, I was ready to let her go. Not that I don't like her, but to let her find something more creative. But I heard rumor she might be going to NXT UK for a couple weeks.
Why?
All based off of Twitter. You know, everything's on damn Twitter now.
Yeah.
I can't remember the girl, but is one of WWE's other promotions that they do business with. So not NXT, but one of the other business with some of the wrestlers. That female asked for a match with Toni Storm, and then at some point, I guess Sasha Banks interjected herself and said that she would take the match.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So,
are you talking about not Progressive? Is it Progressive Wrestling?
I think they do.
No, Evolve.
Maybe Evolve. Yeah. I think it is. It's a female from I think Evolve. Was calling out Toni Storm. And I think Sasha Banks was offering to take the match with the person calling out Toni Storm. Which, you know, I mean, at this point, you're pretty calculated. Unless you're, God damn. What's the bro's name?
Matt Riddle, bro.
Matt Riddle.
Bro.
Unless you're Matt Riddle, who just spouts BS to spout it. But unless you're Matt Riddle,
is that what he does on Twitter?
He said he was going to show up on Raw this week. You know, like
I didn't know. I might have to follow him if he does.
I just want to say I had a daydream earlier.
Calling out for like a year, dude.
I had a daydream earlier of Brock standing in the ring, and all of a sudden on Raw you hear, bro. Oh my!
Yeah,
imagine the pop. Oh, imagine the
whole
pop.
crowd would pop hard for that.
Matt Riddle is.
It's got to be on Brock though. It can't be on anybody else.
Yeah, it does have to be on Brock. If he shows up on the main roster, it must be on Brock.
Telling you,
it
must. But yeah. Anyway, Sasha looks like there's a chance that before she comes back to main roster, she might do a couple things at NXT, which would make sense because look what it's doing for Tyler Breeze. You got to think these wrestlers that are unhappy, this is kind of going past story role into more like real life, that are unhappy with their role in the current main roster. They had a funner time in NXT, arguably Tyler Breeze, and that's why he's back down there, and then Sasha Banks too. So that would make sense to let her go ahead, get that more passionate crowd, get that, what would you call that? Passion. Find your passion again, you know? And then go back to the main roster with that new rejuvenated self instead of that burnt out self that you get working under Vince, unfortunately. You know, because that's, you know, as much as we want to like hype up these shows, it, you know, there's a good chance that it's burning out a lot of the roster, man, with a lot of the issues going on. So,
yep, I agree, man. Let her go back to NXT. She would love that.
Dude, I bet, man. I bet that would be awesome. Just to hear that small crowd, but who cares how small it is? You hear people invested in you. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be good, man.
I'd love for her to come back because, again, bringing up my 8-year-old, she keeps asking me. She's like, where's Sasha at? And it's hard to, like, keep an 8-year-old going on something that's fake that you know that, oh, there's contract issues and she wants to quit. You can't tell that to an 8-year-old. I'm like, she's on vacation. She's on vacation. She's taking a break. She's like, well, how long is her vacation? I'm like, I'm getting hard.
Well, she's unhappy with creative control, honey.
Right. Like, what's creative control? Like, I tweeted out Money in the Bank.
Man is a control freak.
When the Usos,
man.
When the Usos were fighting, when we thought it was a freaking title match, but it wasn't, they had the timer on the Money in the Bank. She looked at me and she's like, what happens if they don't win before the timer's up? I was stomped. I'm like, Like, we don't have time limits anymore. And I didn't think right away, oh, well, they'll go to time and it'll be a tie. I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, is my daughter going to find out? Like, because I remember I was crushed.
Babyface daughter is asking the hard questions the interviewers are asking nowadays.
Like, let me give you Vince McMahon's Twitter handle and you can ask him.
Right.
But anyways, we got to the finish of the match where Nikki Cross hit the draping neckbreaker on Peyton Royce to secure the win.
The cross.
Afterwards, while the match was going on, Alexa Bliss, sticking to her coffee habit character, had some coffee delivered to her where Royce kicked it out of her hands, and then Billie Kay pushed her into the coffee, staining her white jeans. We've all been there. Super embarrassing. You know what I mean?
I love that part. The Iconics are my favorite, and my absolute favorite, except when Nikki Cross is involved. Then they're not my favorite anymore. So,
but
that's the only
after
thing that
the
made me
match,
happy with them.
After Nikki wins, Bliss becomes enraged, hulks out, beats up the Iconics, hits an awesome drop kick from behind. Looks actually pretty nasty. And then her DDT, I believe, on Billie Kay. While she's losing her stuff, Nikki Cross is like, hey, come over here and celebrate with me, looking completely oblivious to Alexa Bliss having a meltdown. And this is what made me love the dichotomy between the two. Because Nikki was so happy to have her partner next to her while they celebrate her victory, while Alexa Bliss was like on the edge of her seat because of stained jeans. I don't know. But it looked good though. It looked good, man.
It does. Right. I agree with you. I actually thought she was about to hit her with a DDT. Actually, thought she was about to
I was expecting one of those Alexa Bliss punches that looked real good. Like
yes. Yeah, man, but instead they celebrated, and that was initially what gave me hope for the whole Rock and Sock comparison. And I mean, I'm probably wrong, but if I'm right, y'all fucking heard it first, okay?
Like, sure did, because I wasn't thinking about that at all.
Where are the Kabuki Warriors? It just hit me. Where they been?
Who?
The Kabuki girls.
Who?
It just hit me. You got your women's tag champs fighting random
Seth
teams.
Rollins is in the ring.
No, don't you try to cut me off. These are the questions.
Hey, listen, honey, they are on a vacation, just like you told your daughter.
If this was Twitter, I'd post the "This Guy Gets It" gift. Just saying.
But no, for real, Rob. We're gonna have a.
I was just trolling, bro.
We'll get the guy from Unsolved Mysteries.
I was just trolling. Hey, that's one of the best guys ever. I used to watch that show.
Talking about Robert Stack.
Yes, man.
Somebody should actually do that.
The Kabuki Warriors were once a prominent tag team in WWE
for 2 weeks.
I can see the Unsolved Mysteries logo going over Asuka when she gives Miz the thumbs up.
We're gonna do it. Rob, you're the tech guy, so I mean, I'll get the still images. You put it all together.
I'm on it, bro. You guys keep talking. I'm on it, like literally right now.
Cutting back, we got Seth Rollins in the ring, trying to bait Brock Lesnar out. At this point, we figure something's got to happen. So Lesnar's cutting a promo. Pretty standard stuff. We hear Lesnar's music, I think, like once or twice, but ultimately no. Corbin comes out, says he's going to retire Seth, which is a pretty far claim, but it's really the fact that he retired Kurt Angle, which, boo, fuck you, dude.
I
agree. Of course, this ensues in a brawl because who wouldn't fight with Baron Corbin after he brings up? While they brawl, Seth throws Corbin out the ring. Lesnar's music hits, causes the distraction, enough for Corbin to get back in there, hit end of days, excuse me. And then we get the real Lesnar. We get his music. He comes out. Boy, you know Lesnar's pissed when he starts off with a kick to the dick. Okay?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
That rhymes.
That caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting them to do that. I was expecting them just to come in and hit him with a chair and do a German, and that was it. But that one, I was like, whoa.
That's that getting paid, Payback. Oh boy. So he comes the low blow. We got F5s, we got suplexes, we got chair shots, all while Heyman's on the outside screaming at Brock, cash in, Brock, like cash in. He can't move. Brock, he's effing dead. Just cash in. Do it. Give me what I want.
Right. Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
Ultimately,
he would not do it.
No, man, he wouldn't do it. He just kept beating Rollins down. Ultimately, he comes to the ring apron. He says, "Friday, Heyman," which leads us to believe he wants to cash in on Rollins on Friday. Little speculation. It really might be a swerve, and he's cashing in on Kofi.
Yeah, he said Friday, but he didn't say on who. So.
Exactly. But going by the segment, it really leaves you perplexed on why he wouldn't cash in.
Yes.
We're just offering the idea. He's probably going to cash in on Kofi because Lesnar's a dick, and
we're getting close to that time, man.
If he does it, I'm calling the NAACP. We're gonna resurrect MLK, and I'm gonna go to Ghana and use their army to go to war with Lesnar and his farm. And then there will be many Okada style rainmaker on his children and family. So yeah.
Watch your back, Lesnar.
Oh my god.
So he said he's going to cash Friday. Now, I want to talk about it. It got brought up earlier when, I wasn't recording because, technical difficulties. Stephanie McMahon comes out on Twitter and makes it a big deal. Brock Lesnar screwed up, blah, blah, blah. For the first time ever, he didn't screw up. Just saying, Stephanie McMahon's like, Brock Lesnar screwed up. He's going to face difficulties and blah, blah, blah. He's going to be punished. And then they had Paul Heyman cutting promos on Twitter talking about, we're going to cash in because we screwed up and Stephanie's mad at us and blah, blah, blah. But then it just didn't happen. Like, nothing happened. You just pretended that stuff didn't happen. I mean, you got your hardcore fans on Twitter watching this stuff, and it's just not going to,
it really didn't make much sense.
It didn't. It made absolutely no sense. So it makes sense to just pretend it didn't happen. But if
we're booking it like the way we're booking it against Kofi, it makes sense. But that's not what was portrayed on the show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you got Seth Rollins, who is essentially on life support, and Lesnar beat the piss out of him. Could pin him with his foot and is like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be Universal Champion. Mm-hmm. Tonight, I want to go to Super Showdown all the way in Redacted. Mm-hmm. And...
Yep. Even again, my baby-faced 8-year-old we've talked about. Tonight they showed the highlights on SmackDown. She's like, Dad, why didn't he just pin him? I'm like, he's on vacation.
And the thing about his character is his character doesn't like to... So why would he prolong it to
his
show
character doesn't
up
like to what? I'm sorry, you cut off. His character
show up to...
Okay.
Right. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I mean,
the way I rationalized it was that Brock Lesnar was so upset at his WrestleMania loss to Rollins that he just wants to torture and torment Rollins. So if I were WWE, like I would have Lesnar there every week, but every other month he would just come out and beat Rollins up, tease the cash in, and just kind of send a message to Rollins. And the moment, and say if we could keep just going all the way to WrestleMania, we can have Rollins versus whoever, and then Brock Lesnar is the one who comes out at WrestleMania and cashes in.
He gets Rollins hospitalized. He's like, hey, that broken leg heals, I'm going to beat your ass again. Because you got to know.
Right. That dude halfway in a coma, got a cast on 2 legs, IV in his arm. Like, I'm coming.
Don't relinquish that belt.
You done.
Don't relinquish it.
Wait till that nurse is done giving you that shot.
Right. Oh my god. Well, after the beatdown, we see Rollins getting stretchered out. This is the first time that Becky is on screen with Rollins, and she's there just accompanying him as he's getting in the ambulance. Personally, I don't know how I feel about this, but hey, they got to acknowledge it at some point, so
again,
that's what they did.
I'll bring up my 8-year-old. She asked me today, she's like, why are they together? And I was hesitant. I'm like,
Dude, why the fuck not, bro?
I'm like, you know what? They're
like
boyfriend and girlfriend.
Couple.
I had to think about it for a second, because like I said, I'm still trying to... The reason I'm trying to keep her away from knowing it's fake is because one of my key moments in my life is when my mother told me it was fake and how much it crushed me. I will never forget it. Because the exact words were, you know it's fake, right? And I said, no, it's not. She said, how do they know when it's going to end? My world went black and white. Like, I'll never forget it. I was like, ugh.
Oh, that's got to be a dark moment for any kid.
Right. And I'm trying to...
Not all of us have that. Some of us kind of just gradually figure it out.
Yes, and I was...
To have someone just, like,
put
it there for you is a rough one.
Right. So I'm trying to... It's still real until she says to me, I know it's fake. I'm going to try to... It's real. It's as real as you can.
Rationalize it.
So, I mean, I was hesitant, but I was like, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. Wrestlers could be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Listen, the way I see it is, and you said you don't know how you feel about it. I kind of in that same boat. But the way I feel about it is you got to give WWE credit here because they get caught on the carpet a lot about not being consistent in things. If you hadn't seen Becky there, you would have been like, wait, they supposed to be,
right, he just
boyfriend
got
and girlfriend. Why is she not there?
Yes.
So the fact that she was there, they get credit for that because it's consistent.
Yeah. You say you disagree? Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
No. Yeah. I just wanted to say, like, I just was disappointed with Becky Lynch being a man. I got this idea from my favorite podcast, Steven Larson.
Yes.
Or their Raw. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a friend, though.
Yes, I'm a friend, though. Go ahead. Anyways, go ahead.
They probably got a good point saying that if they really wanted to make a moment out of Becky Lynch, they could have had Becky Lynch, the next segment, Becky Lynch all up in Brock Lesnar's face going off on him.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Becky is the man.
Nice. She would have been standing up for her man. She's the man.
I don't know who I saw post it, but something made me chuckle. They said Becky Lynch got in the segment so that she could challenge Brock Lesnar to put up his Money in the Bank contract, and she would beat him for the contract, and then she would cash in. Yeah, she would cash in on Rollins.
While he's at the hospital. Wait till that nurse is done with that shot.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry you laid up. The ref there, I'm cashing in.
Come here.
I can see them knocking out like over medical supplies. Yeah. She's like,
she hits him with a bad pen. Oh, this is such a good callback.
I am Becky Two Belts now.
I just had to throw it out there. We've been talking about the whole bed thing for a couple minutes. In my mind, Vince McMahon getting hit with the bedpan has been running in my head.
That was the callback.
Yes.
Becky hits Rollins with the bedpan.
Yes.
As a direct callback. So good.
This he says, "Make me a sandwich later."
And she's the first Universal Champion, female Universal Champion.
Since y'all calling out podcast, I am a part of the Busted Open Nation, if I say so myself.
Yeah, I gotta watch a little bit more of them. I've seen some segments here and there, but I've never actually watched an entire show.
Every day, man.
I want to get into them. I might have to steal Jay's credit card information so I can start listening.
That's Bubba Ray stuff, right?
Bubba Ray, Dave LaGreca, and
it's mainly Bubba Ray, right?
Mark Henry.
We called that out a couple episodes ago when Jericho did his thing with them.
Yeah.
Mark Henry and Bubba kind of switch. So it might be like Bubba maybe 3 times a week, Mark Henry twice. Or
Mark Henry's on there? Okay.
Yeah, Mark Henry is on there too. Actually, it started with Mark Henry.
Man. Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna go into it, but did you catch after AEW after Double or Nothing when
Mark Henry was interviewing damn Chris Jericho?
No, not well. I didn't see him doing Chris Jericho. It was when he was doing Dustin, when he was doing Gold Dust.
No. That's it. I got it wrong.
Okay.
I got too excited.
He just asked him questions like he wasn't Mark Henry. I'm like, bro, you're Mark Henry,
WWE
man.
Hall of Famer.
Like, and you're just like, I'm a normal
Dude.
freaking journalist guy, and I'm asking you, bro, you're Mark Henry, man. Jump in front of everybody and say,
he was
you.
the best one interviewing.
He was.
Yeah.
He was great. And we're not going to run with that because, we've been going a long time. But
by the way, like, I'm sorry. Mark Henry, I was afraid of him as a child, like his whole run in the 2000s, because he was just scary and big. But
the Hall of Pain.
The Hall of Pain. Like, it's just so weird seeing him be like who he is outside of the WWE when I had a literal fear of him and Kane.
Right. That's what I'm
Did
saying.
you watch him begging Owen Hart's wife let Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame? Like his Hall of Fame speech? Bro, dude, like Mark Henry knows how to pour his damn soul on his sleeve, bro. Dude, if that don't make you like well up, oh my god, dude. Mark Henry knows how to just put himself out there.
Dude,
that's all there really is to talk about. It is like
Mark Henry is a true fan of the sport, man. Plus, obviously, he's a superstar in it, but he's a fan first. All the stuff that he went through is all about wrestling, man.
And he's also the dad of a hand. I mean,
fuck, Rob! Like, god damn it!
Please don't put those images back in my head.
Dude, no, I'm so happy you brought us out of that. That brings us into our next segment.
Yes, please.
Firefly Funhouse time. My personal segment of the night.
Pull up your pants and get the muscle man
Wowie moment of the night.
Jesus. We got the Firefly Funhouse segment. This week, personally, is up there in my top two, maybe top three favorite of Bray Wyatt.
The best.
Essentially, Bray Wyatt is introduced his newest friend to the show, the fat pig puppet named Hushus. An obvious take on, if you haven't seen Husky Harris, Bray Wyatt's initial call-up moniker. And Bray's talking about fitness and exercise. There's no way to convey this damn segment. Okay, listen.
You just gotta watch it, man.
You just gotta damn watch it. It was originally conveyed with
just gotta let him in.
Super serious, and then it turns into this 80s/early 90s exercise
video. He had a fanny pack on, kid.
He had a damn fanny pack. We got Devil Vince in there talking about he's too fat, and Bray's like, "Look, we'll lose the weight," and there's so much meta and just other great things to this segment. You gotta damn watch this.
You have to. It's the best one. How did you have Devil Vince as a puppet on this? Vince knows that this is the best thing going in WWE right now.
Vince had to have seen that, and he was like, "It fucking is great."
This is good shit. This is good shit.
Let's run with that. Yes.
Exactly.
How do I want to word this? You have Devil Vince portraying what the WWE universe sees him as right now, and he okayed it. Bro, you know that you are the devil. You know that you are what we seen in this segment of Firefly Funhouse, but you're still garbage.
You know what I saw, what I got out of this was Bray Wyatt has the perfect answer to all the creative issues that's going on in WWE.
He really does.
Pre-tape your shit before Vince can change it. Just pre-film it all, man, and then just at the night of the show, you can't change it because you already filmed it. You have to air what was already filmed. That's how you do it, son. It's how you do it, man. But oh my god, it was so awesome, you guys. There's no way to convey the attitude, the darkness that creeped in. You just.
We didn't get a Brocky boombox to dub our own music to this week, but we got this to dub our own music to this week.
Yeah, already got one. Yeah, got the gin and juice. I think it was. I sent it to my wife already. She's like, "Did they really put that on WWE?" I was like, "Yeah, man, that's Snoop Dogg on WWE, babe. It's all good."
I like that tweet. Like I was dying in the middle of work when I saw that. When I saw you had posted that or retweeted. So the true question is though are we going to do the Muscle Man dance at any particular moment in our lives?
Oh man.
I think I might pull out the Muscle Man dance tomorrow.
Do you got like the clothes for that? Because it's part of the outfit, man. You know?
You gotta have the workout pants, the fanny pack. You know, you gotta go straight.
Bro.
86.
1992 save.
Random thought, skipping ahead to what we haven't covered yet. Did they air? They didn't air that on SmackDown, did they?
Oh, you talking about Slater? Slater.
Yeah. No, that's Slater. That's Slater
Slater
right there for you.
But yeah, they didn't air it on SmackDown too, by the way, which is weird because they've been doing it on both shows.
You had like 6 minutes of dead air at the end of the show. You could have filled it with that. Just saying.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
They didn't redo it on SmackDown, how they always do it on SmackDown and Raw. They didn't air Firefly Funhouse on SmackDown.
I'm for it, man, because don't cram it down like overexposure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. This was the first week I was like, yes, thank you. And they didn't cut to the crowd watching the segment because those are the two worst damn things, man.
I actually, real quick, I thought of that last night. Maybe I could be absolutely way out of the ballpark on this, but
no, go ahead.
People steal videos, man. Like, what if that's just a thing to look, this is our WWE crowd, this is our video. That's the only thing I can think. Like, it randomly popped in my head last night. Like, this is our video. That's the only thing I can make sense out of.
No, man, that's Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn's obsessed because he's such a he's like the head of production, and he's obsessed with how the crowd is reacting to how the show is going.
And every time they cut to it, somebody else, like, nobody's looking at it.
Exactly. It backfires. It looks like like the Firefly Funhouse is definitely something for the TV audience, not for the live crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not going to get the craziest reactions out of the live crowd, you know? Unless like Bray Wyatt's like sacrificing Midian or somebody else during the show, and, you know. But yeah, no, that was good, man. They didn't cut to the crowd. They didn't repeat it on SmackDown. That was smart in my opinion, and it made the segment more effective. But what made it really effective was the damn fanny pack. You know, that's really what it comes down to. Bray Wyatt in a fanny pack. And dude, did y'all notice? Like, dude, Bray is jacked. Like, the dude really is.
He's been working out, man. Yeah, he's been working out. He looked totally different than he did, about a year or two ago.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him back in the ring.
Dude, how do they put him in the ring, you guys?
I do want to take a perfect time to plug Bray Wyatt, Aleister Black. I'm still calling it.
Man, I can't. If that's a feud, I'm sold on that feud.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that for a while, man. Like,
you got me, Rob. You got me, Rob, with it. Yes.
Like, you got Bray Wyatt.
I just want to see Aleister Black just do his whole youth pastor promo on Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt just says something about letting him in. Like, yeah, let's just do it.
You got two guys right now that are. You got Bray Wyatt who's doing his videos, which we're more into, with nobody to feud with, and then you got Aleister Black doing his stupid promos that nobody cares about, that he has nobody to feud with. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're in the ring together, in front of each other, fighting each other, just out of nowhere. Like, oh my god, boom! It's genius.
You did not work as a blue collar man like I did, Bray Wyatt.
Now, this might be a little on the nose, but since Bray Wyatt is like trying to attract kids. What if his first feud is against Rey Mysterio, and it was his son Dominic who let him in? You know,
that would be dope.
It's a little on the nose. You know what I mean?
It's there. Hey, I mean,
it's there. You know,
Dominic, he let me in.
Dad, listen.
Bray gets all pissed off, and then Samoa Joe comes out. Samoa Joe comes out. I've been trying to get this dude to let me in for years.
We serve Jesus in this household.
Now we got to do plyometrics, son. You don't understand.
Now we got to have a ladder match.
Jesus Christ. Dominic, you may not be my kid now. Jesus. Anyway.
Another match for the custody of his soul.
Oh my God. Anyways, rounding out the show, our last promo segment of the night, we've got Triple H and Randy Orton in the ring, Battle of the Balls.
Didn't we have a Cesaro and Ricochet in there?
I think, look there.
I'll be honest, my notes end here because I fell asleep. I don't know what happened. I don't know what else happened.
So here's what it was. Triple H came out. Randy Orton said, hey, we're going to fight. Triple H said, look, we've fought a million times. I can't say anything new, so let's just fight. And Randy Orton was like, well, just make sure that Stephanie McMahon gives you your balls.
Yes, I did see that part on Twitter, and they started laughing at each other.
Whatever. And then Triple H was like, yeah, Randy, because my balls are big. It's hard to carry. Sometimes it's hard to get in the overhead compartment. Sometimes it's hard to something else. I can't remember. And then it just ends with him going, you wouldn't know because you don't have any. And then Randy Orton, they cut to Randy Orton, who you would think was going to like RKO out of nowhere. But the dude was like laughing his ass off. Which just tells me none of this shit was fucking scripted, dude.
Right.
Like Randy was probably told to tell Triple H to get his balls back from Steph. And then Triple H either ad-libbed or had this whole thing planned out before Randy knew what he was going to say. Because Randy literally looked tickled, man. He looked so fucking entertained.
He really did.
Like they, if you still shot at the end of that segment, they did not look like two guys ready to fight. They looked like two guys sharing a couple dad jokes.
They looked like two guys cutting a promo for a pay-per-view that nobody cares about. Just
saying. Dude, they looked so happy, man. Like, I'm telling you. And they got paid. They got paid, dude.
We also got the Undertaker promo, and he botched a little bit. I'm tired of Undertaker on the mic. He's
well, before that, we did have the Ricochet and Cesaro match.
Oh yeah, that match.
I heard Ricochet's music, and then that's the last thing I remember.
My personal take, I'll let you guys dive into this because like this, I kind of checked out. It really seemed like a rehash of their previous two matches. It was a rubber match to determine because they both had one win over each other, but it really seemed like all they did was go through the steps of the first two matches and then ended with Ricochet rolling up Cesaro in a botched roll up too, unfortunately.
Doesn't surprise me.
But hey, if there was one highlight out of it, Cesaro, after he jumped Ricochet, he was pulling out the table. What was on the table, man?
Oh, R-Truth.
R-Truth, man. Just like, dude, what are you doing?
I love that
moment. That title is gold, man.
Oh, my God.
It's gold.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. R-Truth, if you guys are wondering, man, R-Truth, the moment he be outside the ring, the entire mid-card came out, started a brawl on the outside. Cedric Alexander did a dive over the top rope as R-Truth slid into the ring, which he faced off with Drake Maverick, which I'm dying for. Listen, man, Drake Maverick deserves a week with that title.
He's gonna get it.
I agree.
He
deserves a week with that damn belt.
They're pushing him to be part of the story so bad he can't not get it.
Oh my God, dude, he's so sympathetic.
He's even selling for it on Twitter. Like that.
Yeah,
they have to let him
needs to
have
take
a
that back to 205 Live.
Yes,
right.
He does, man. For R-Truth to take it from him on 205 Live, man.
Yep.
Yes,
he show up in his office or something.
Because it's funny because like with 205, like he does like this is what happened last week. Like what they could do is have him like do that whole thing. This is what happened last week, but in the middle of it, he just gets rolled up out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. No, you're right. You're right. But unfortunately, this week, he's in the ring facing off with Truth. He's got all those flyers in his damn hand for some reason. Carmella does her best HBK impression, delivers some sweet chin music to him, and then her and R-Truth escape, and then going on to what we get the segment that I dumped, For Whom the Dong Tolls. The lamest shit.
I love that title. But man, it's like Undertaker ever since what was that WrestleMania where he had a format with Roman Reigns? Ever since then, it's like he lost his promo ability skills. Maybe it's because he doesn't have his heart all the way in it, but
it's because
basically this is. Go ahead.
It's almost 3 decades, man.
It's because you made me cry and I came back. That's what it is.
Yeah,
But
Rob
legit,
will never forgive him.
This is like the third time I brought this up while we were recording. But man, because I've been again, I'll bring it up. I've been in and out since January, and this year Royal Rumble sucked me back in. So here I am. But I've been in and out since January. So when Undertaker did the thing where he put his stuff in the middle of the ring and everybody was crying, I was legit crying. I'm like, I'm 34 years old and this man has been part of my life for 34 years. And he's finally done. And that's it. I'm never going to see him again. And then they're like, oh, psych. Come on, man. You pulled tears from my eye sockets.
You want to know what that is equal to? That is equal to Michael Jordan with the last shot hitting it against Utah in '98, and then he comes
all of a sudden he's a wizard.
For the Wizards.
All of a sudden he's a wizard.
That's what that's equal to.
Oh,
like,
that's
dude,
some real stuff right there.
You
dude.
pulled on my
man.
heartstrings, bro. You're supposed to
Yeah.
end with the arc and shutting Utah down, but yet you come back
And all of a sudden, here you are again, bro. Give me my tears back.
Yeah.
He was running low on cash.
Those
You're
things
dead,
do
man.
not-
Gotta eat.
Okay, you running low on cash. Go play for the minor leagues. They'll pay you to bring fucking attendance to their stadium.
For you MMA fans, it's Liddell coming back after his knockout to get knocked out like 4 more damn times.
Valid. Like, come on, man.
Man,
You gotta know
Oh,
when to
man.
quit, man. Undertaker should have
Gotta
stopped
know.
right there.
It was so perfect.
Good stuff.
It was so
In my
perfect.
opinion, I'm always gonna put it out there. It was the end of the era match. Him and Triple H.
Oh, he should have
in
stopped
that
there.
Hell in the
Yeah.
Cell. That was the perfect send off, man.
You're
He
right.
could have
That
gone out
was.
on a win, man. He could have gone on because no one had to go over, man. It's
No.
Triple H. You know what I mean? Nobody had to go over.
But the thing I like about Undertaker, he accomplished this already, is that he said personally that he thinks that every wrestler should go out on his back. And
That's true.
I guess it wasn't supposed to happen
That's
with
it.
Brock, but
Old
he at
school
least did it for
mentality,
Rodman.
man. Yeah.
I said Roman.
Rodman. Dude, I hope he did not do the job for Rodman. Okay.
Like, Ramen is kind of good. Everybody has to do the job for ramen.
Oh my god. Anyways, if there was anything notable from this promo, Taker said he didn't want the family man referencing Goldberg's last run where he was a lot of the time mentioning his son had never seen him wrestle. He wanted the Goldberg that went on that huge undefeated streak. He wanted the ass kicker Goldberg. And then the show ended with him saying, Goldberg, you're next, which was funny because he just went over and he didn't get to end with rest in peace. We had to find that shit out on SmackDown. But ultimately, I mean, I don't know, man. We saw SmackDown. We'll dive into that on another show just because we're already an hour and a half in. But between Goldberg and Lesnar, man, you got to hint to Goldberg. Not taking, I mean, excuse me, Goldberg and Undertaker. Excuse me. That shit's already done. You gotta hand it to Goldberg though.
Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I text Yeeski and Duke both before we did it while he was doing that promo, and I said it's a shame that these Attitude Era cats come in and they cut these killer promos, and these new cats have issues doing that. But he was like, they're not. The older guys probably not as scripted as much, which is true.
Right.
Goldberg, this is probably one of the best promos that I've seen him do because Goldberg fumble over his words sometimes a lot, especially since he came back this latest time.
Remember the
But
time he
this
gave
time-
himself like a concussion, fucking headbutt in the
Yeah,
foot? Like, he came out
Dude, he was
bleeding.
on fire with
Like,
this promo.
nobody hit him.
Listen, he almost talked me into watching it Friday. Like I was like, I should actually watch this now because I want to see it. but then it came back to earth.
I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it because I have an 8-year-old baby face that said, "Are we gonna watch it Friday?" I can't tell her no.
We have to, man. As much as like,
listen, I'm gonna be at work when this is going on, okay? Live. But I mean, of course, I can watch it later. But
it's not the same. It's not the same.
I might break down and do it. I don't know.
If there's any match that intrigues me, it's that one.
I'll tell you what, though.
No other match has been built to me other than maybe a 50 or 60 man battle royal. Like that just sounds kind of neat.
You know me.
But
I was praising. I mean, I wasn't really praising this, but I'm like, screw it. Take it for what it is. It's Undertaker and Goldberg and blah, blah. Now I'm out. I don't even want to watch it. But like I said, I have an 8-year-old that wants to watch it with me, so I'm going to watch it. But Friday, I have to stay off of Twitter because I don't like spoilers. I'm one. Right. I don't want to know who's going to win the match. There's some people out there that don't mind. I do. Like if I know who wins the match, I don't. That's part of the reason when you tell me watch this match, watch that match. It's an old match. I don't care to watch it. No matter how good the match is, it's not updated, and we know who wins. That's part of the reason I don't watch the matches you tell me to watch.
This is the only thing I'm gonna say about tonight. If you bring out Goldberg, you must have pyro and sparklers. Yes. Period.
Oh no! I don't. Saudi Arabia, they will. Like Saudi Arabia, they break
gotta have
that
it
junk
every
out,
time he come out.
Yeah.
Raw.
They was listening tonight.
Huh? No. Goldberg came out tonight, but he ain't had no sparklers or
tonight. We're
pyro.
referring to we're recording this after SmackDown, folks. By the way, Goldberg did not come out on. We're recording this right after SmackDown, and Goldberg came out to no pyro.
Like I told you, most people listening to this already know what happened. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't care what your policy is now.
Yes.
With pyro.
I mean, didn't Goldberg have an issue and get burned by some of the sparklers?
No, this is WWE, man. WWE just redacted.
No. I'm talking about like back in when Goldberg was
WCW.
Yes, back in when Goldberg was a thing.
It wasn't a big enough deal to quit the pyro. I'm sure at some point he fucking had a sparkler.
Okay, I know there was something where he got
breathing in the sparks with the breath coming out. Come on, man.
Y'all
how you not gonna have him?
Y'all need to see Chris Jericho from his WCW days doing his Goldberg imitation. The pyro ends up being like super weak, and he looks like so frustrated that it looks stupid as shit. Only to like at the end, he has to wipe his face off with his hand and be like, "Okay, get back into character." And then he's like starts waving to the crowd. It's the best thing ever. I have the gift saved, man. I'll send it to y'all. It's one of the best, dude. It's one of the best damn things. I'll send it y'all. Y'all go ahead and keep talking, man. I'm gonna send it to y'all while we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be against you guys. I thought it was a good promo. His delivery is great, but I did not know what this man was talking about. It sounded like a nonsensical old man trying to tell me why, as a millennial, I need to pay him more taxes. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just get to the point, man. Like he was talking about, Undertaker, you were right about my opinion, but your opinion is not my opinion because I'm going to win and you're going to rest in peace. And it's like, I think I know what you're saying, but man, come on. Like,
did you not see Goldberg during his heyday?
Actually, no, I didn't really see him, even though he was my favorite wrestler because of the video games.
No, it's all good. It's all good. His big thing was his promos were never that big, but they always his thing was you're next because he had a streak of like, what was it? I got to hear in my notes.
Like it was like 107, I think, right?
Yeah, like 107, 170, something like that. But at the end of it, man, he would always end with, you're next, man, and that was the big deal.
Yep.
You know, but. Yeah, like I don't blame you. If you really didn't see Goldberg in his heyday, it's gonna seem like some weird old dude now.
Yeah, he never cut promos like he did.
Oh hell no, he
no,
didn't.
Never.
He didn't need to.
No.
He could have just came out and been like, "You're next. I'm okay with that. Go wrestle, bro. Go whoop his ass. Let's do this." Like, plain and simple.
So who do you guys want to win in this match, though?
Undertaker.
Goldberg.
Oh, fuck y'all.
You said Undertaker?
How can you not pick Undertaker to want to win?
No,
Undertaker
no.
is Undertaker.
I'm tired of Undertaker, bro.
So it's going to be Undertaker.
I'm tired of
The reason
Undertaker,
why
bro.
I
would
want
never
Goldberg to
say that.
win
Okay, let me
is
go into
because
a little
he
more
buried
detail.
John Cena.
Undertaker, I like John Cena. Undertaker
Yeah,
drops
Undertaker
Goldberg on his
buried John
head,
Cena.
pins him, and he goes out on a win. And I cry again. Only this time my tears are worse than. I mean, hey, that night.
That's the best answer right there.
Like, I'll never forget.
I'll give you that
Cry
one.
again for the right reason.
Right.
I'll give you that one.
Like, I was legit crying. I was trying to wipe it away at first, and then I gave in, and I was crying.
It was like, it sure is dusty in here.
Oh my god, man.
I put Visine in. All right. So that's my reason.
God.
Undertaker is Undertaker. You can't let. I mean, like you got whoever it was that just said it. Every wrestler should go out on their back. Okay, that makes sense. I will give you that. But this is Undertaker, bro. Who has been around longer than the Undertaker?
Listen, Undertaker is about to take that spear and that jackhammer over.
And then
over.
And then you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna sit up, be like, brah.
You know what? You're probably right about that.
And then him and Brock are gonna fucking laugh
That's
at each
lucky
other.
gonna be a pop moment.
Hey, yo, do you guys have access to Twitter yet?
Yep.
While we're on the air. All right. Well, I'm posting that Chris Jericho video right now because I couldn't get it to Discord, but it's on my stuff at thekaitaishow.com or at the Kaitai Show.
We did go a lot longer than we wanted to, and I do want to get questions in this time because
get those questions in, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're gonna fire off with quick answers here because it is bedtime and whatever. Okay. My buddy Wally, I actually mentioned him last episode. This is a personal friend of mine. If things keep on course the way they are with WWE, do you think they stand a chance of Fox backing out of their deal?
Fox backing out?
Yes.
Nah, man, the contract's already signed, bro.
Yeah.
I think one thing people keep forgetting is that bad numbers for WWE is good numbers for any other TV show.
It's really true, man. Like, cause bad numbers for WWE, you're still talking like what? What's a bad day for WWE? 2.5
under
million?
2 million.
That's a lot of viewers. But word is SmackDown wants 3 million. Or Fox wants 3 million out of SmackDown, right?
Yeah, Fox
Something
wants
like
3 million.
And they're not getting it right now. So I'm sure there's word is that there's part of that contract saying you have to get 3 million viewers or we can back out. I mean, I don't know the contract, but I mean that's what the word on the
It just
street.
Sounds drastic to me. It sounds drastic to have this 5-year deal so public and then to back out of it like immediately. I mean, I think like part of the way they combated was to we heard the public thing where they said we don't want a 3-hour show. Continue with the 2-hour show.
Because up 2
until
hours,
that point,
there you go. You got more people in.
Yeah, it was rumored that SmackDown was going to go to 3 hours. So I don't think so. I don't think they're going to back out. The contract's going to be fulfilled the same way that the maybe one is. And I got high hopes, man. I do. I really think that right now we're in the. But once AEW gets up and running and we're at 2020, bro, I think it's going to be a great day for wrestling. I do too. Really do. I think it's just AEW has already got a great foundation. You know, they don't have to change that much. You know, if you've seen what they're doing, they just got to keep the course. Yep. And WWE will just have to fall in line. You know, and I think it'll be great for everybody, dude.
I agree, man. I think I do have high hopes for them too with this Fox deal. I actually think like that first episode is probably going to be epic on when they come on Fox, because of two reasons. One, they signed this contract, and two, they got AEW that's staring at in a rearview mirror and real close. You know what that rearview mirror say? Things are closer. So,
right.
You know that's AEW right now.
People want to say Vince ain't scared of AEW, even if he's not scared. He's got his eye on AEW.
Oh, he's looking at him.
Competition right there. You can be the biggest empire in the world. Competition is competition. I don't care what you say.
Vince could be looking at the barrel of a gun and tell them to pull the fucking trigger. Dude, Vince.
Yeah, I don't think he's scared. I don't think he's scared.
He's
I
watching.
think he's noticing. He's watching.
Yeah,
watching him.
And I think Vince believes so much in his own game plan. That's the thing.
That's
I think
good shit.
Vince
That's fucking good
believes in himself no matter what it is, regardless if it's good or bad.
He's going to have to change that game plan, though. He's going to have to change that game plan, though. Yep.
Dude, they need Triple H, bro. They need Triple H.
It's apparent, man. You do. Like, NXT 25? Are you kidding me, bro?
Look at NXT and look at WWE. That's why like nobody at NXT will chant AEW. You know what I mean? And that's
yeah. You didn't hear that at all. Nothing. No boring.
No point.
No what chance. No CM Punks. No nothing.
Nothing. Because he knows he has his fingers on the pulse of common wrestling. You know, where Vince just. Unfortunately, you know, I mean, Vince is the greatest of all time as wrestling promoters go. But we're beyond his time, dude. We're beyond I mean, dude, you're 75. Like, how are you convincing yourself you know what people 18 to 35 want to fucking watch, man? You know what I mean?
He like that store that's going out of business. Like, people just don't go there no more. Yeah, he like yeah, he is. He like Kmart. You know what I mean? They supplied a lot of stuff for a lot of people for so long.
That's
and
sad.
then it's just, you know, people just not going to Kmart no more.
It's true, though.
I just think you were exactly right about that, Duke. That's exactly what it is. He supplied so much for so long, and he just does not have his pulse on it, like you said, like Triple H does.
He didn't adapt to the environment. Plain and simple. That's what it is.
Yep.
Okay, next we've got Backseat Bookers, AJ, which we had last Tuesday.
Nice. I think I've heard of them before.
I'm excited to answer this question. I've been like,
big ups, Backseat Bookers. What up, though?
He asked us this, and we just didn't get to it last episode. Who should be the first AEW champion, Page or Jericho?
Hangman Page, man.
Did they say Page or? Did they say Page or?
Yes.
Jericho.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's between the two, I would say Page.
Duke.
Yeah. Oh, Hangman Page.
You too?
I'm calling it. I am predicting the future. I have let Bray Wyatt in. It will be Hangman Page.
Okay.
It is unanimous.
Okay, it's not unanimous. Okay.
Oh, it's not?
No. Here is my answer.
He wants.
Okay, I will keep it short because we are cutting on time and I got more questions. I think the answer should be Jericho, simply because you have AEW, this new promotion, okay, that you have hardcore wrestlers knew it was a thing. Meanwhile, non-hardcore wrestlers, people that watch WWE and think that's the only wrestling on the entire planet, you have Sami Zayn mention AEW on Raw, and all of a sudden Google searches go up by 20,000 searches in 2 seconds. They don't know that AEW is a thing. You sign a TNT contract. You got me flipping channels, a guy who watches WWE. It's a Tuesday night. I lost my SmackDown on Tuesday night. I'm flipping the channels. Here's Chris Jericho holding the AEW belt. I know who Chris Jericho is.
Very good take, man.
I know who Chris Jericho is. I don't know who Paige is. I didn't know who Paige was until he came out for the Battle Royal. And all of a sudden, Twitter's like, hey, this is Hangman Page. He's a badass. Now I know he's a badass because I'm on Twitter. But if I'm a casual, I'm flipping the channels. Oh, who's this Page guy? Oh, he's got the belt. This seems cool, but I'm going to move on. But I'm flipping channels, and I see Chris Jericho still holding it down at 50 years old with the belt. I'm sticking to it. What's he going to do? Boom, I'm hooked.
Hey, I love that you mentioned his age.
You know what? You're right about that.
You do have a very good point, though, Rob.
And the other thing about that is we always like the chase. So if you got Chris Jericho to heel and you got Hangman, those new fans that's coming over too, you can see them chase Chris Jericho and finally get it.
Sting was chasing what? Hogan, wasn't it, back in WCW? Hogan old as fucking dirt.
Yeah,
Sting didn't have a match, man, for over a year. Like all he did was he just like he was brooding in the damn rafters.
Yep. Stalker. That'd be a real problem these days. You know, they probably couldn't pull that off these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Like for real, I was thinking about that question. I'm like, oh my god, like I want to answer that question
you have
so
a very
hard.
Good take.
Like,
you got a very good counter,
I felt so good about answering that one. Next one, we got JM and Yeeski at WWF Anonymous.
You said JM and who?
Who are these jabronis?
You Rudy Poo.
Some fucking
I'm
casual.
gonna take this podcast. I'm gonna shine it up real nice.
You're right.
With every day that passes, every NXT show that happens, it's apparent that Trips needs to take over the main roster. Does that happen? And if so, how does it happen?
Yo, I'll tell you how it happens. Vince fucking dies
in the chair.
That's the only
question answered. That's it.
I think you're right about that, man. When I sent that, I said it's going to be a news story of him passing and he's in the chair, doing what he does.
Yo, we find out that there's like 32 like unconfirmed committed rapes, and he gets the death penalty.
It's got to be, yeah. With everything going on these days, you just never know.
Oh my god, he is like Bill Cosby 8 times over.
But then again, would Trips even take over, or would we get the Vince Devil puppet sitting in his chair?
Oh my god, no!
Dude, I'm dead at that.
I hope Triple H is the beneficiary to WWE, because
he should be. It can't be anybody else. No Stephanie, no Shane.
Yeah.
It has to be Triple H.
Just Triple H.
It has to be Trips, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I did this in my 2K19, so it's better than anybody else's opinion. The way I would do it is to split it up in 3s. Give Triple H NXT, and he can rebrand it to something that's not developmental. Give Shane McMahon SmackDown, and give Stephanie McMahon Raw. They are, I mean, I don't know about Stephanie McMahon in terms of story, but Shane McMahon and Triple H, they all have a pretty good hold in terms of storytelling with wrestling. Yeah. So if you just split it up in 3s, then you can build your own inside competition amongst everyone.
That's true.
And
so I like that, but I would do Trips with Raw, Stephanie SmackDown, and Shane with NXT.
Dude, just hardcore fans for NXT would not allow that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But there's no easy answer there. Like, that's a good answer.
There really isn't.
But there's no like unified assignment with that.
Or I mean, you can do what you said and split it up. Keep Trips in NXT. However, Trips is the figurehead for all this in the background.
He
runs everything.
Of the other two.
Yeah, he runs everything. But for storyline purposes,
he doesn't be Vince. He lets him have some freedom.
I don't know if Regal has any real say in what's going on, but
I
Regal
think he just scouts talent.
Yeah. Do you think he's just like a talent scout and then an on-screen, role?
I think Trips gets his opinion on stuff, because I think he values, especially like somebody like Regal. You don't think he values his opinion, man?
I would say so, man. Because now, like I said, this is kind of like going to a obscure thing again. But have y'all ever seen what's referred to as Regal's best promo, which was who was the disability wrestler back in the?
I can't think of his name. He beat Matt Hardy though, right?
Yeah. No. What he did was he stole everyone else's moveset. But Regal came out, and I got this stuff saved on my YouTube channel, man. It's like seriously some of the best stuff you ever seen, and I didn't even know. But it made me think that there's more to Regal, regardless like of the promo itself. It made me think that I was like, dude, Regal's got some legit talent that goes beyond just I'm here, the here and now. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Yeah. And like I said, I'll tag y'all in it. But I don't know, man. I would think that Regal has got something to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, more than what Mick Foley was. Mick Foley was an on-screen.
It's just figurehead.
Yeah. But I think Regal, man, is probably got some legit offerings to the company.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to leave it on such an empty note. I'm sorry.
No.
Regal. He dressed up as he dressed up as many characters in his time in WWE just to make us laugh. So shout out to him.
Man. Yeah. And to putting up with Tajiri all those years.
Right.
Drinking tea in his tea.
We almost forgot about Eugene.
The Eugene, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Eugene. Yeah.
Oh, Eugene. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Waving at everybody.
As a kid, I felt so bad for Eugene. Like,
I didn't realize that guy wasn't actually special. Like he's.
See, I thought he was special the whole time as a kid. I was like,
he
Rob Starr.
sold it, bro.
Yes, he did. Half zip jackets.
Oh my gosh.
Biting his thumb.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, I got one more question for us, and it's an easy one. It's more of a joke question that I was asked on Twitter, but I turned it into a podcast question. Did you ever listen to a WWF pay-per-view on a scrambled pay-per-view channel?
Wait. Go ahead again. One more time.
You know, I used to watch porn. Everybody did it. Watch porn on the scrambled channel.
Where you
can
like
hear the
watch
audio
like a
clear as
scrambled
day.
channel for like the view of like.
Yes. Did you guys ever do it with a WWF pay-per-view? Because apparently it was a thing. Because this guy did it. It was.
Honestly, I heard about it. I may have. Yeah.
I have watched the WWE pay-per-view like that. Listen to it, of course, yeah. But every once in a while, you'll get a clear picture, then it'll go out again. I have done that on pay-per-view.
Wow.
Yes.
Damn, such a good question. Dude, who asked that question? That's a good one.
Forget. You know what? I'm trying to remember which pay-per-view
David
that
Owens
was.
at Dr. Owens 901.
No, man, that's good, man.
Right, that's why I was like, I'm gonna use this as a podcast because I answered it, and I was like, wait, I'm gonna use this as a podcast question because my answer.
One of those. It was one of those Attitude Era pay-per-views too, I think, because I don't think I had cable at that time, but I ain't had the money to pay for pay-per-view. I mean, I was still in school.
My answer to him was I had the luxury. I was lucky. My uncle held pay-per-view parties, and he had like 6 or 7 guys that all chipped in, $5, whatever. And I had every pay-per-view. The only one I missed, the only 2 I missed growing up was Buried Alive between Mankind and Undertaker because I was sick, and I don't want to say it being disrespectful. The one that Owen Hart died, I wasn't there. I wasn't there for that historic moment.
Saw that shit, man.
No.
Like they went off the air, and any archive footage,
you can't find it. It's not
released.
there. It's not that
I was over my friend's house for that one.
Like I seen every pay-per-view throughout the entire Attitude Era, and that's the one I missed. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, I didn't want to see it. I just wanted to say that I was watching it, but I wasn't. But yes, I had the luxury of seeing them all, so I didn't have to try to do scrambled pay-per-views. But like him asking me that question made me realize not everybody had that luxury.
Yo, I'm sending y'all, if y'all both get that tweeter, I'm sending y'all that William Regal fucking promo right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to find it and send it to you guys. It's so good.
I'm gonna watch it. But I've been watching wrestling for 20 years as a 24-year-old, and
damn, for real, you're only 24?
I'm only 24.
Whippersnapper, get off my lawn.
So like most of my wrestling knowledge is like from 2000 to 2008. But I never watched my first pay-per-view until 2015 with the network.
Nice. So, who was it? Which one was it, man?
I think it was a week or 2 after the WrestleMania of that year. It was the one with Sting versus Triple H, and that's when I had actually came back into wrestling.
So that was WrestleMania. That was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So you ain't see Takeover, bro?
You saw what? Damn, your first pay-per-view. You saw fucking Randy Orton propel Seth Rollins from the stomp into the greatest RKO of all time.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first ever pay-per-view, and that was my first time coming back to WWE, because like in 2008 I was going into high school, so I took a hiatus up until 2015. So I took like a 7 year for wrestling. So I missed the whole 2000. I missed the whole CM Punk stuff and everything. Even though CM Punk was my favorite wrestler when I had left in 2008.
Damn, you took a hiatus going into high school. We ran around a high school like trying to shove socks down each other's throats. Freaking dropping stunners down the staircase.
Yeah, Duke, you seen more than I did then, because 2004 was my stopping point. I ain't seen nothing from 2004 to 2014.
Mine was
that's actually roughly my gap too.
All that John Cena stuff, all that what else happened during that time? I missed a lot of like the AJ Lee all that stuff with Dolph and Big E and what else happened during that, man? It was a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, that whole Shield stuff.
A lot of
all
Ryback.
That stuff. I missed
Thank God you didn't see Ryback.
Well, I caught a little bit of him when I came back, but yeah. Yep. That's how I define what I didn't watch. I was like, oh, Ryback was a lot of Ryback.
Yeah. I didn't watch that.
Feed me more.
I do. Man, so you missed out. Like
the big guy.
I don't really know how to explain it. The difference between like the network. Like I love the network. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the fact that I pay my $10 a month, and all I got to do is
the network is one of the best value things ever for wrestling fans. No matter what you say,
I just got to turn on my Xbox, and boom, there's my there's my network. But like speaking of back in the day, pre-network, like. When you like I said, I went to my uncle's freaking buy-in parties, and we sat there and we watched the same promo on the preview channel for 30 minutes, and then the pay-per-view finally came on. And by that I mean like worse than the network. It was the same 3-minute promo for a half hour straight, and then it finally came on. And then it was over. And when it was over, there was no Road to WrestleMania, and there was no Natalie does this.
Yeah, no 24, no nothing.
It was right back. It was right back to the preview channel, cutting that same 3-minute promo. Oh man, I wish I could bring that to the network, paying $10 a month.
Like you kids don't know. Right. This is how we used to do it back in the day.
No. That's like when people are online like, oh, $50 for AEW.
Man,
like,
you
AEW,
had to watch
that's
Sunday Night Heat.
Like,
you got one match in an hour-long show, followed by 16 promos.
This guy gets it.
S.A. Rios came out and did a moonsault. That was it.
And then they were like, here's a 3-minute promo. Buy my pay-per-view.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways, you guys, I think that's been a good end to our pay-per-view. God damn it, our podcast.
We went way over what we wanted to.
If you're paying for this, dude, if you're paying for this, you have a problem. Okay.
I swear to God, if you're listening right now, I swear to God, Kyle and I texted each other. We're like, we're gonna go an hour and a half, SmackDown and Raw,
cover 2
and
shows.
Questions. No. But see, that's what at the start of the show. That's why I said I like these guys, because it's the same thing. You can't go to the barbershop and time your conversation. You can't go to the bar and time your conversation with your friends.
Could you imagine that, going to the bar and you're like, okay, wait a minute, we coming up on 30 minutes, so now we got to talk about SmackDown.
We got to start talking about something else. No, man, you guys have been awesome. Anyways, I'm never really good at. I'm gonna leave it up to 1-3. By the way, you guys, my name is Kyle. Follow me at the Kai Tai Show. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it up to these guys to end tonight's show. Y'all have a good one.
Fickle Fan Podcast, WWF Anonymous, WWF _Twitter. We usually do our shows on Tuesday. We'll post it. We'll have it by Wednesday morning. This week, since we did the Smack Raw podcast, it'll be up probably Thursday morning. So look out for that. We'll be talking about NXT and Raw and SmackDown, our takes on that stuff too, and anything else that's going on in the world of wrestling, like we do. Just talking about wrestling. So that's what we do. NXT.
I was just gonna do that.
You gotta get that chant in there too. Get that chant in there too. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what though. If when I go to SmackDown on August 6th, if they try to take my AEW hat,
bro, you gonna get jacked. I'm telling you right now.
I might be the one to take it off of you. You might see me descend from Vince McMahon graces and
just security guard hat off. Sell that junk on eBay.
You're gonna do the sting. Right. You're gonna do the sting from the rap.
You know what?
You're gonna see the boat on my back.
I did. What's funny is earlier I talked about my daughter wanting to make a sign. I think I'm going to make a sign that has my ad on it. And I'm going to say Baron Corbin blocked me.
I'll be looking for that.
You know how many hits I'll get? There'll be at least a couple guys out there like, I'm going to see who this is.
But my closing statement is to thank Kyle and Rob for having us on there. Rob, it's good to meet a fellow Pokemon master like myself. And Kyle, it's good to meet a fellow friendo out there in the universe. And
Hell yeah, man.
We
big up
really
to y'all,
appreciate.
man. Yep.
Yeah, we really appreciate y'all having us, and we hope that you guys get a chance to check out the Fickle Fan Podcast so that you guys can see me very. I don't know. This is the true life of pets too. The commercial that keep playing in the middle of all, and
I have an 8-year-old baby-faced daughter that wants to see it. So I'm all about it. Let's roll. Let's watch it.
I will be seeing that one way or the other. But I do hate when it comes on in the middle of a match.
Look,
Right.
Y'all feel free to join us anytime. Hey, if y'all ever want either of us to come on your show, hit us up, man.
We will be. We will.
yeah. All right.
Anyways, you guys, thanks for joining us on the SmackDrop Pod. What an awesome episode. Make sure to join us in the next day or two. We'll have our SmackDown episode up. Hopefully it won't run for fucking 3 days straight. But anyways, y'all have a great night.
All right. You have a great night. Bye.
Fickle!